everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Dr. Carmen Bryant, and this is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Normally, I don't have a lot of time on Tuesdays. I don't have time today. I just wanted to come on really quick. Come on really quick before I head out the door, just to make a comment or just to respond to something really quick, because I hear this over and over again. But before I do so, just let you guys know, on the 21st of December, I'm going to Leavenworth. Those of you that know where Leavenworth is in Washington State, go look it up, because it's a German town. It's a Bavarian town, and I'm from Bavaria. I'm from Munich, München, Deutschland. I'm from Bavaria, and so this is a German town, a Bavarian town with snow and horse-drawn carriages, and so I'm going to take you guys with me. I probably won't come on live because I know that means that I'm going to be, kind of conversing with you guys while I'm there with my child. So what I'll do is I'm just going to put clips together for you guys to see the beautiful snow and the lights so that we can enjoy Christmas together. But I just wanted to come on really quick, and I wanted to address this. First of all, once you've identified a narcissist, don't trust them. Do not trust them. Put up your guards. Now, for some of you guys, you're still trying to discern whether or not you are actually dealing with a narcissist. You're wondering if it's traits, if it's an actual personality disorder. But if you've been watching these videos and you've been here for a while, or you've been watching other videos, and I've given you the 9 different symptoms, the 9 different traits of a narcissist, 5 out of 9 of those, is diagnosable under the DSM as having narcissistic personality disorder. Now, most of you guys are not clinicians, and of course, obviously, to diagnose an individual, they would need to be in a clinical setting to do test and measurements. That's the ethical and the professional way to do it. And a person is actually not a narcissist. They actually have narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder. But for the sake of survivors and those that are victims, the narcissist. But once you've identified, and a lot of you have watched these videos, so you know for a fact, oh my gosh, some of you guys are having that, that thought I had a drank a V8. I thought I had a V8, should have had a V8. But you're having the aha moment. You're having the revelation. You're having that, that moment where you're now realizing, oh my gosh, all these years I didn't know. And everything that you're saying is very point on, describing the behaviors, the relationship, the sexual contact, the love bombing, the hoovering, the flying monkeys, the no contact, the ghosting, the silent treatment. You guys are identifying the trauma bonding, the withdrawal symptoms. You're identifying all this stuff. You're identifying this as a part that was a part of your life. Some of you are out of it. Some of you are still in it, trying to get out of it, trying to learn. Some of you are fresh out of it. Some of you guys are out of it for a long time. But the one thing you do now, once you've identified that narcissist, I tell you guys all the time, go no contact. By going no contact and putting space and putting time in between you guys, is giving you an opportunity to get back into your right mind, for that fog to lift off your mind, for you to start thinking clearly. The blinds have been lifted. Now you can see, I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. You begin to have that HD vision, like, oh my gosh, you can see things in detail. It makes more sense to you. You're not being gaslighted. You don't have someone, interjecting their thoughts to make you think that you're crazy and what you see is not what you see. Now you're beginning to understand. Now understand this. Everything that a narcissist does has an ulterior motive. They're not being nice to you just to be nice. They're not just calling you to say happy birthday or Merry Christmas just to be nice, and they've changed. Most people, the last thing to go is hope. Those of us that have a normal, and we don't know what normal is, so all of us, whatever normal is nowadays, we don't even know what normal is. But those of you that do not have an abnormal personality, put it that way, or have a personality disorder called narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder, and those of you that are capable of having cognitive and emotional empathy, you feel, and you understand that you're normal. That is normal. You may have narcissistic traits, but you're not pathological, and you don't have the diagnosis. You don't have the disorder. And so for those of you to understand this, you try to reason with your mind. Your mind and your brain is trying to bring some clarity and some understanding. Your brain is working on overtime trying to make sense of what is happening. That is what the brain is supposed to do. And if you let it go on overdrive too long, it'll start putting in pieces and gaps and making its own story if you let it run wild. That's why you have to take control of your thoughts. Well, I've got racing thoughts. You can take control of your thoughts. You can pull those thoughts down, but do understand this. Narcissists are not nice just to be nice. Narcissists don't just, hey, I know, the relationship didn't work and I just want to be friends, and I just want to just a relationship for our kids, or, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. And they'll tell you detail. Some of you guys get pulled back, hoovered back in, because I understand what I've done. And they will say detail for detail for detail for detail. Everything that you know about the narcissist, they will begin to confess it to you. I know that I lied. I know that I had many affairs. I know that I hurt you. I know that I've tormented you so bad and damaged you so bad that you'll never be able to trust anybody. I know. They'll start telling you how you feel. They're so detailed that you're like, finally, they have empathy. It's cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy, meaning that they understand what they're doing. They understand the effects of I'm not going to say they understand the clinical or the scientific effect. They know what they're doing because they're getting you to react the way they want you to react. And they're giving you the information back. That doesn't mean that they have emotional empathy. That means they have cognitive empathy. They understand emotions, human emotions, and how it affects you and what you do. So you hear them telling you this, and I'm sorry, and they'll go in detail with the sorry. I apologize. I know I've done this, and I know I've done this. It'll even sound like they're listening to these videos and they're changing. They're not changing. Tigers do not change their stripes. Doesn't matter how emotional you are. Some of you is fresh, so you're going back and forth into Hoover. That's okay. We all trip and fall, but we got to get back up. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. We weeble wobble, but we do not fall down. And so when you trip and fall, stand up, get up, and try it again. Do it again. It's not too late. Sometimes you have to practice. Babies are not born running. If they are, that's a Stephen King movie. But babies are not born running. You got to work with them. You got to teach them how to hold that big bobblehead up, and then eventually they got to get muscles in their muscle definition and muscles in their little legs. That's why they lift, they crawl, they lift up, they stand. They're building muscles, and then eventually they walk. Well, same thing with you. You've been injured. You've been hurt. You've been in a relationship that has totally destroyed your way of thinking, your soul, your heart, your emotions, everything that you thought was real, pure, and nice. You find out that there's a darker side to human beings. And to a narcissist, there's a dark side. If you've ever seen the movie Venom, I always tell people, those of you that are not in the church, I get it, but those of you that are spiritual, I always say that Venom is a great depiction of the spirit behind a narcissist. That shows you, and he is a control freak, and he wanted what he wanted, and he looked at the guy and told him, you are mine, you belong to me. He didn't fit with anybody else but that one, and those two merged together. So how can you tear those two apart when they have agreed to merge together eventually? They have merged together, and so Venom was a very good depiction of a narcissist, if you guys ever seen the movie. But with a you don't trust them. Do not, once you've discovered, do not trust. Everything that they do has an ulterior motive. Everything that they do. Question, when I say question, I don't mean question them, because when you start questioning them, be prepared, because they can sense when they're losing control. When a narcissist realizes that you have discovered who they are, and now you know what you're dealing with, whether you say it or not, they can sense in your actions and how you act and the things that you say. All of a sudden, it's not that easy to control you. All of a sudden, it's not that easy. I remember one looking at me, and they looked at me sideways. And I knew right then that they figured out that I had discovered who they were and that it wasn't working anymore. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about. But it wasn't working anymore. And they kind of looked at you. You know how the little dogs look at you? And they looked at me. And so I realized they know what they're doing. They know that they're in control. Not in control. That they know that they are asserting power and control. And when you begin to grow, when you begin to get wise, when you begin to get knowledge and you understand what you're dealing with, or you start to realize you're having that aha moment and you start to watch them, you start to ask questions, they can sense their control weakening, put it that way. They can feel you slipping out of their hands, that they don't have the control they once had. You don't jump when they say jump. You don't not ask questions anymore. They start to sense something is not right. You can hear them make comments like something is wrong. What's going on here? Something is different. Something's changed. That right there is giving you a compliment, because you are learning. You are discovering. And be prepared for the discard. Once they realize that you've discovered them, they know that you're going to discard eventually. And so they'll try to beat you to the discard because they're competitive. Do not trust a narcissist. Once you discover who they are, and once you get out, stay out. Don't go back. I don't care how lonely you are during the holidays. Watch my videos. I'll tap in from time to time to check on you guys, and I'll try to help you guys through the holidays and talk to you guys, even if it's a few minutes of a video, but just to encourage you to stay strong and stay in there. And so hopefully this has helped you a little bit. Don't trust them. Once you discover who they are, don't trust them. Everything they do has an ulterior motive. Nothing is pure. Nothing is real. Everything has a reason why they do what they do. Always be on guard when you're dealing with a narcissist. It makes it hard because you already don't trust people. So you're having to learn, but never trust the narcissist from the time that you figured out or discovered that they're a narcissist. Know everything that they do has an ulterior motive. And sometimes they're building you up for something else, for another discard, or they're building you up for a court case. They're building you up for something. They're building you up trying to get you to make a mistake so they can use it against you. Everything that they do is devious. Everything that they do, always, you can't trust them. When they say hi, you can't even okay, what does that mean? There's a meaning behind it. You always handle them with a long, if you have kids, keep the emotions out of it. Treat them with a long handled spoon. Never trust them. Never, ever trust them. Tigers do not change their stripes. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm out of the office. I got to go. You guys make sure that you subscribe to my channel. It's Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hit the bell so you know whenever I come live and I post more videos. I usually come on live on Sundays between 8 and 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, unless I'm traveling or I'm in conferences with my mentor in support of her with the other part of your tribe. And so make sure that you go check out my Facebook page. It is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. That is my professional Facebook page. And then my book Facebook page is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hit the thumbs up. I post videos on there. When I go live, I usually go live on the psychological health one. And so you guys make sure you subscribe or thumbs up on both of those. Those of you that are seeking counseling, listen, I advocate counseling. I am a professional counselor. I am a licensed mental health counselor. I'm an educator. I hold a doctor of education in counseling psychology. And I provide, that the emphasis is counselor education and supervision. I'm very much into counseling and educating. Some of you guys are struggling so bad. You're triggered. You're having these problems, even if you go just for the holiday seasons. Some of you guys have post-traumatic stress and complex post-traumatic stress. I encourage you. Some of you guys can't get out the house. You can't find the counselors within your area. A lot of you have written me and said that, you really can't find any quality counselors that understand this phenomenon that you have been through. I encourage you guys. I have a sponsored link underneath my YouTube channel. It is betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. Check the site out and you can vet counselors. I believe the first week is free. It's a nominal fee. You do pay a fee, but you can talk to your counselor. You Skype them. You can online counsel. They call you. They're licensed counselor nationwide. When you look for the counselor, look for one that specializes in domestic violence, post-traumatic stress, trauma, psychological abuse, parental alienation. And then when you talk to them, vet them, ask them, say, do you understand what narcissist abuse is? Do you understand? And my little angel for Canada said there's one by the name of Irene Johnson, I think it was. You can even look for her. She knows what narcissist abuse is. And she said that she was a phenomenal counselor. So you guys go check her out, go find her, or, find other counselors, licensed counselor within, but I'm telling you, the best investment is an investment in yourself. It's pretty easy and pretty cheap to get abused, but coming out of it, it costs you almost everything. Sometimes some of you guys have lost houses and cars and furniture and money and retirement funds and almost lost your mind. That was expensive, but you have to invest in yourself. I mean, come on, we paid $200, $300, $400 for lace front wigs and weaves and hairstyles and fingernails. We get our fingernails done and jewelry and eyelashes, and that is an investment on the external. That's the aesthetics of a person. But just because a person looks good on the outside does not mean they look good on the inside. On the inside is like a parasite. I had this conversation with my mentor, and that's what the venom is. Venom is like a parasite. And by the time this parasite called the narcissist attaches itself to your life, they suck out. It's like a spider bite, a brown recluse they bite you and they liquefy everything inside of you. Most people either commit suicide, have died of some kind of disease because your immune system is off. You guys are more sick being with the narcissist. Some of you guys have come out the relationship, you started getting healthy, went right back in, started getting sick again. And some of you guys can gauge it. Some of you guys don't want to say it, but some of you guys will hoover back in and you were getting healthier, you were looking good, your skin was looking good, you got back in the relationship with the narcissist, and it's like everything fell apart. You started getting sick, started getting headaches, things that were never wrong with you are now wrong with you. And so it's like a brown recluse biting you, and everything on the inside begins to liquefy or petrify or, something, mummify. But once they bite you or once they're with you, they're like a disease. And it goes throughout your body and it pumps in your blood. You get sick, you get confused, you're not happy, you're miserable, you're living a miserable life. When you come out of these relationships, I'm telling you, even if it's just for maybe a month, go and register on that site, pay the fee, get you a counselor, see what it's like. I think the first week is free. If you have financial difficulties, let them know so they can discount you a price. Let them know you need the help. And I'm telling you, try it for at least 1 month and get you some help. Talk to them, find you someone that fits with you and get you some help. Because I'm telling you, just because you look good on the outside, people don't know what a mushy mess you are on the inside. And if you can invest on the outside, if you can invest in an automobile, a car, you can take yourself out to eat. If you can invest in yourself like that, you can invest in your mind, because your mind is a very powerful, powerful thing. And you have been driven crazy, almost lost your mind, lost your health, lost some stuff. That is the greatest investment. You are your greatest investment. You are your greatest investment. You have to sacrifice and you have to get yourself back on board, get yourself back online, and then go find a coach to help you come up with ideas and goals and things that you want to do to let you know whether you're ready to do it or not. Maybe just a checkup. I am a coach. I do coaching, but I'm telling you now that with the counseling through BetterHelp is a little less expensive than coming to see me. But if you're willing to make that sacrifice to work with me, listen, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm a professional. I work very hard at what I do, but I'm very effective. And so you guys make that sacrifice. What's the word I'm looking for? What did I just say? You make the sacrifice and you and fund your, come on, help me out. What was I trying to say? I was trying to think too quick. Make the investment. There we go. Make the investment in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in your healing. Invest in yourself. Invest in your mind. Invest in your emotional health. Do that. Invest. I did. Look what I'm doing. You got to invest. You got to invest in yourself. And it makes me a better counselor because I've had the experience. I'm empathetic. I understand. I don't understand each and every person's personal experience, but I do understand the process. I do. So make the investment. Thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys go be great.